The news day continues here on One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. The Interior Department says it does not recognize the executive order issued by Cebu Governor Gwen Garcia, lifting the face mask requirement in well-ventilated and open areas in the province. In a statement, the DILG reminded LGUs and the public of the President's directive for Filipinos to continue wearing face masks except under circumstances defined by the IATF. The DILG notes that current IATF protocols only allow masks to be taken off in specific circumstances, such as when eating or during certain well-ventilated sports and activities. The agency adds that the PNP will continue to confront, apprehend, and arrest, if necessary, all violators of IATF guidelines in Cebu Province. State volcanologist warns that another phreatic eruption might happen at Bulusan. This comes as PHIVOLCS records an increase in seismic activity at the volcano. Now, the agency said last night that most of these events are weak and shallow, but may indicate a phreatic eruption could possibly occur within the next few hours. Alert level 1 remains hoisted over Bulusan. Now, as of 5 in the morning, PHIVOLCS recorded 149 volcanic earthquakes at the Bulusan, which is spewing some 824 tons of sulfur dioxide per day. Plumes from the volcano reach 100 meters tall, described as moderate emission. The country's unemployment rate slightly eased to 5.7% in April. That's from the 5.8% recorded last March. Now, this means that the number of Filipinos who are jobless has decreased to 2.76 million from 2.87 million in March. The April figure is also a huge drop from the 8.7% jobless rate recorded during the same month in 2021. Incoming Agrarian Reform Chief Conrado Estrella believes that the goal of bringing down rice prices to 20 pesos a kilo is a bit of a reach given the current circumstances. Shaila Francisco has the report.
Consumers are now grappling with continuous price hikes, not just in groceries, but in wet markets and convenience stores. Agriculture Secretary William Dar warned that the food crisis could be felt more later this year.
The last quarter of the year, that's where you can feel most of the impact. Itong Ukraine and Russia are global food producers. They are main players in the global food market. Nag-export sila. Even fertilizers kasama, they are also manufacturing. So tayo ay impacted heavily.
The DA had also warned that rice prices might go up by 4 to 6 pesos per kilo due to foreseen tightness in supply. Other countries planning to ban exports and hike prices will also factor in. With this, incoming Agrarian Reform Secretary Conrado Estrella III says the 20 peso per kilo rice price promised by President-elect Bongbong Marcos will be a challenge.
Yung 20, mukhang sa ngayon, medyo mahirapan pa tayo considering alam mo naman yung presyo ng langis ngayon. Pagkatapos yung presyo pa ng abono.
Estrella says a 27 to 28 peso per kilo of rice price range may be a more feasible target and could be achieved by August next year. Meanwhile, aside from rice, consumers might also bear the brunt of price hikes in other essential goods. This as manufacturers of sardines, instant noodles, detergent, and bread have asked for an increase in suggested retail price or SRP.
We'll have to review those requested price hikes to be convinced that they are based on the rising cost of the raw materials and inputs of the producers. We can't help it if input costs are increasing.
Pascual adds they will also review whether there is a need to expand the list of products covered by SRP. For now, he advises both the manufacturers and consumers to look for substitutes for expensive products. Aside from inflation, the incoming trade chief will also prioritize micro, small, and medium enterprises affected by the pandemic. Shaila Francisco, we are One News.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. The Comelec condemns the killing of election officer Maricel Peralta in Zamboanga del Norte. In a statement, Comelec acting chairperson Socorro Inting said the poll body is already coordinating with the authorities after an unidentified gunman shot Peralta as she was driving home. She also assured Peralta's family that they will not rest until justice is served. Meanwhile, the Comelec Employees Union also condemned the killing and urged the police to leave no stones unturned in investigating the incident. Russian President Vladimir Putin says he plans to redeem and reinforce Russia as he spoke to a group of young entrepreneurs in Moscow on Thursday. Let's watch this.
Добрый день, дорогие друзья. Мне очень приятно вас видеть. Любая страна, любой народ, любой этнос должны обеспечить свой суверенитет. Потому что не бывает каких-то промежуточных составляющих, промежуточного состояния. Или страна является суверенной, или колонией. Он когда заложил новую столицу, ни одна из стран Европы не признавала эту территорию за Россией. Все признавали ее за Швецией. А там испокон веков наряду с финно-угорскими народами жили славяне. Причем эта территория находилась под контролем российского государства. То же самое и в западном направлении. Это касается Нарвы, там его первых походах. Чего появился туда? Возвращал и укреплял. Вот что делал. Вот. Ну, судя по всему, на нашу долю тоже выпало возвращать и укреплять. Ну, невозможно, понимаете, такую страну, как Россия, со стороны невозможно обнести забором. А мы сами не собираемся такой забор вокруг себя возводить.
Blackwaters beaten season 46 champs TNT Tropang Giga in their latest matchup at the PBA Governors Cup on Thursday. Marty Bautista with the details.
Basketball action continues for the 47th season of the PBA Philippine Cup yesterday, June 9. Without a Brandon Ganuelas roster in the starting list due to injury, the Blackwater Bossing somehow drew a miracle against the All-Filipino Conference defending champs, the TNT Tropang Giga. Right off the bat, Blackwater dominated the second and third quarter. Once the fourth quarter came, the Bossing didn't take a second to back down. Carrying the lead by as far as 10 points in the last 5 minutes of the game, Roger Pugoy of TNT shimmied past defense to shorten their grip with free throw chances, 71-73. But JV Casio of Blackwater had an answer of his own after knocking 2 of his free throws to push the lead 75-71. With 3 minutes left on the clock, JJ Alejandro didn't back down, creating a jumper to cut Blackwater's lead once again 73-75. However, Casio still had some tricks up his sleeve after releasing a shot from the outside with 2 minutes to go. The score stood at 78-73 for Blackwater. Roger Pugoy once again proved why he's a TNT mainstay, answering back with a 3 and drawing a pushing foul to eventually tie the game at 78-78. In the end, Casio was just too hot to handle. He jotted down a 7-point run, ending the game with a dagger 3 to win Blackwater's Philippine Cup debut game, 85-78.
Sinabi lang to ni Coach, preparation namin. Kami lang nakakaalam po ano yung ginawa namin sa preparation namin. So we believe in that and I think the team believe in that also.
JV played exceptionally well. There was a time in the end game that I asked my assistant coach Aris, are we going to stop JV for a few minutes? Because I know he was playing a lot in the fourth, but don't know, just keep it there. And then luckily or thankfully he delivered. And alam naman natin kung anong kayang gawin ni JV Casio.
From being the underdogs in the last season with an 11-1 win-loss record to beating the All-Filipino Conference defending champions on their first day, the Bossing couldn't help but celebrate in the dugout. For the second game, the Northport Batang Pier quickly snatched a win against the Rain or Shine Elasto Painters 94-81, despite having a lack of bigs in their squad.
Coach said I'm going to be playing a lot of minutes. You know, we're missing a couple bigs, Troy Reich and a couple others. So I just wanted to go out there and fill in in some shoes tonight and get this done for my team. Work as hard as I could and do everything I possibly can to get the done.
Ganun ka-agile yung team namin eh. Kaya I think ang team sa mag-a-adjust sa amin, hindi kami. Kasi sanay na kami sa laro namin eh. Na ito kami, yung bigs namin tumatakbo, yung lahat ng bigs namin tumatakbo. No? Ako lang hindi tumatakbo kasi medyo malaki na yung katawan ko.
The games continue today, June 10, at the Inares Center in Antipolo. First on the matchup are the San Miguel Beermen versus NLEX Road Warriors at 3 p.m., followed by the Converge Fiber Extras versus the Magnolia Chicken Templados Hotshots at 6 p.m. For News 5, Marty Bautista, we are One News.
Now here's a quick look at some of today's headlines. The incoming press secretary says vloggers may be allowed to cover the palace, but that doesn't make them actual journalists. The incoming National Security Advisor says she's not interested in red tagging and will instead address the root cause of insurgency. Two losing candidates for the presidency failed to file their sources before the deadline. And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later at 2 in the afternoon as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.